Hi, my name is Christoph. I'm a lecturer and the coordinator of the Youth and Community Leadership Programs here at UC, and I'm delighted to talk to you today about our programs, what we are doing. Yeah, Billy.
Yep. And I'm Billy Osteen. I'm the Associate Professor of Community Engagement and the Director of the Community Engagement Hub. So we have a lot to do with the Bachelor of Youth and Community Leadership, which you're going to hear a little bit more about today.
The degree is about becoming a leader, making change. If you're passionate about something where you think something in the world isn't quite right, or you want to create a better future for yourself and your whānau, your community, this degree is what you want to do. That could be climate change, that could be what happens after COVID-19, all of these kind of things. So this degree is about taking action, taking your passion to make change in the world, in the community, for our local community, our society in New Zealand, or on a global scale. It can be all of these kind of things. It is also about being flexible and agile in a changing world. As we know, with what's happening at the moment, we had the lockdown, we had all these other things happening to us. The world is not quite as it was in the past, and these kind of changes we have to respond to. And this is the flexibility that we are trying to help you develop in this course as well. Also about the changing future of work.
The story of where this degree comes from is directly related to this idea of the future of work. In 2010 and 2011, we had over 10,000 University of Canterbury students form themselves as the Student Volunteer Army and go out and provide help. It led us to want to create a degree that enables students to learn how to take charge, learn how to lead, learn how to make social change. The Student Volunteer Army members had rich experiences in project management, self-direction, teamwork, and communication. So this degree focuses on all of those work-ready skills, and students who go through with this degree will come out ready to face the dynamic and changing world of work.
You might ask yourself, okay, what will I study? How will my study pathway look like? Now, the degree in itself, so the Bachelor of Youth and Community Leadership, is quite flexible. We designed it on purpose to have a small core that gives you the foundation of the degree, but that allows you a lot of flexibility to choose your pathway in what you're passionate to lead in, because we don't know which direction you want to take the future into.
We've designed the degree as the Bachelor of Youth and Community Leadership, and very little of it is actually structured of being told what you must do. The whole point of this degree as a leader is that you get to call a lot of the shots about what would you want to and need to know in designing your degree. Having said that, we recognise that this does kind of cluster in these four streams of people that we think will come together. Some of those are the activists. They're the people who are wanting to change the world, and they will draw their courses from a whole range of courses in arts, in politics, those kinds of subjects. Then there are the people who are the humanitarians. They work in the world as it is now, and they're going to be committed on how do we soften the inequalities that exist in the world. Then we have the people who want to innovate us to a better future. So they're going to be the social entrepreneurs. They'll be doing a lot of courses out of the College of Business and Law about entrepreneurship and finding better ways to structure our social services and our businesses that are more just for the future. And while we didn't imagine that this would be the case, over the course of developing the degree, we've also recognised the need for those people who want to work with youth. So there will be those people who come into the degree and their specialist focus will be around youth development, community development, and building strong leaders like they are themselves.
The degree has three core elements to it. The first is leading the self. So it provides students with opportunities to be reflective and introspective, to learn about how other people do leadership, and to really come to their own personal idea about what leadership is. The second core element is leading others. So it's an opportunity to be part of teams and to be out in the field doing hands-on projects where you are actually leading a team to do something. So an example of this might be last semester in the Christchurch 101 class, we had teams that did various things from providing a healthy lunch at a school to helping redecorate the waiting room at a mental health facility, to working with a retirement village and helping them sort of carry out a program there. So you could do something like that. And then finally, the most exciting part of the degree is the last part. And the last part are two classes. One is the development of a proposal to do something active somewhere. And then the second course is to actually go do it. And so what we're intending is for students to do work both here in New Zealand, but in other countries, in terms of enacting this actual proposal that they've come up with and they want to create change. So again, you're going to learn about who you are as a leader, you're going to learn about how to lead others, and you're going to actually learn about how to initiate and carry through a project.
Yeah, so this project at the end, this is really where you coming in, right? So we are scaffolding in this degree from, we talked about Christchurch 101, which is,
Yep.
Billy is leading most of this, and you will work together as a group of students, and then at the end of the degree, in the 300 level, you will enact your own project. So this is where you come in. And we have also internship opportunities in
Yep.
between, where you can go out into organizations that are interested in what you're doing, and you can do it, get some work experience in this field.
I like to tell people that if when I was leaving school, I could have written down exactly what I wanted to study. Sociology, education, just really getting a bit deeper into all these big conceptual ideas, but working with people. It was pretty much exactly what this degree offered me. Because it has that flexibility, you can do drama, you can do music, you can do art, you could do a stats paper. Something they really push with the degree is that it's about developing skills, transferable skills, employability skills, like communication, problem solving, that you can take on to wherever you want. Like there are people in the degree that want to go into politics, there are people that want to go into social work. It's a whole range, but we all just have that common drive of change and community. Christchurch 101, I've been doing that this semester. That's been an amazing paper. Every week we were going out to a different community to see projects that have been put in place, seeing the actual change that's gone into that and talking with the organisers. They tell us all the nitty-gritty details of the process. We've had the opportunity to write proposals for projects we might be interested in doing. We've been able to actually implement some of those. We went into the Kiora unit at Papanui High School. They told us that they had a community garden that they used to work on all the time and spend a lot of time there, but it's kind of been left to its own devices. So we spent a couple of hours out in the garden with the kids and it's looking amazing, and they were all really excited. They were telling us that they were going to keep up, go every lunchtime, make sure it's watered, which was really cool, really rewarding. Yeah, we've got lecturers from America, from Germany, from Scotland, and they just bring that depth and insight, so much knowledge that we can tap into, and they're just very readily available, very approachable for any academic support you need, any life support you need. It's really cool, yeah.
One thing that I want to talk about is minors. You can pair the bachelor degree with a minor from a range of subject areas to give you a good grounding and foundation in a knowledge area that is relevant to your passion and the direction that you want to take this degree. So we have the leadership part and the knowledge part, and both come together in this degree.
Okay, so this is one of the interesting things with all this choice. Of course, then it makes the choice hard to make. But let me give you an example of if you were one of the people that came in here because you were interested in the humanitarian pathway. So your compulsory courses would be how and what people learn, then cultural politics and cultural activism, and globalisation, social justice and education. You would also do the 4 youth and community leadership courses over the period of 3 years. And then on top of that, you will also do media and society, education, culture and society, youth realities, comparing the politics of nations, social media, international relations and humanitarian ideals, and investigating social worlds. And then finally, just to round out the package, you would of course do Christchurch 101, which is the heritage course for the whole degree and came out of our initial work with the Student Volunteer Army.
Yeah, so as students of this degree, you will have the exclusive opportunities to work in communities literally around the world. So in the last several years, we have been to Vanuatu after it was devastated by a cyclone. We have been to the high school in Florida where the mass shooting occurred 2 years ago. We have been to Washington, D.C. We have been to Fiji and various other places. Now, these are examples of trips and experiences that you will have the opportunity to partake in because you're part of this degree. So people within this degree will have the chance to do these things. In addition, we will encourage you to look at things that are going on around us on campus. So the Student Volunteer Army, which is the largest club on campus. There's the UNESCO group here on campus that you could be a part of. So there are a variety of things beyond the classroom that you will have the opportunity to experience.
Most of the students who would be interested in the degree will have already sort of indicated that by their actions in terms of what they've gotten involved with in their secondary schooling. So these will be the students that have become involved in things like student council, who have become involved in projects to contribute to the sustainable development goals. They might have a lot of extracurricular activities as well. They might be involved in church work, and they might be involved in scouts or guiding or some kind of thing like that. So we know that students who are passionate about taking action for a better world will already be involved in these kinds of spaces. Of course, one of the questions that we get asked all the time is, but what job will I get if I take the Bachelor of Youth and Community Leadership? And it's a really important one, of course, for all of us who are about to make this investment in a tertiary degree. And the answer is, depends on what your passion is. This degree is designed so that those four aspects of practice that drive people to make a difference, as is the university's agenda, is where they will go. So the humanitarians and the activists are likely to be in the not-for-profit sector or maybe the policy sector. They might be in community organisations. The social entrepreneurs, of course, are going to actually make their own jobs in terms of moving forward. So they will be the innovators, the people who are likely to go into self-employment. The people who are concerned about youth work will work in the youth work sector, and we've got a recognised demand for youth workers coming through. So theirs will be focused very much in terms of moving into those organisations that work with youth and for youth in a range of settings, be they education, health or social services. But the key thing about the degree is the fact that we privilege the transferable skills. So those graduate attributes that you get from UC about being entrepreneurial, about being community engaged, about being globally aware, and about being biculturally competent and confident, we foreground those in the degree itself. So when people talk about the future and work, well, whatever degree you do, the work is changing so fast, you'll be training for jobs that don't even exist yet. We're actually future-proofing our graduates who will be able to go into all sorts of degrees that we don't know exist yet. And that's the importance of this opportunity, that whatever your passion is, you enrol in the Bachelor of Youth and Community Leadership, but you do your minor in your area of interest. So maybe in arts or commerce, whatever it might be, and you've got the best of both worlds.